Boom shakalaka, what is going on, everybody? Randall here from Crypto Love, and today we are talking about when is Bitcoin going back up, whenmoon, and at the end of this episode I will be announcing the winners of the free Neo DevCon tickets, who I will be messaging in the next day or so, I think later, so they can get their free tickets, and I'll see them at Neo DevCon in Seattle on, I think it's February 16th and 17th, something like that. All right, now, or it could be the 15th and 16th. Or 16th and 17th. It's somewhere between the 15th, 16th, 17th. So today we are talking about when is Bitcoin going back up, because my goodness, do I ever miss those whenmoon hashtags. And this seems to be like everybody's like, is this going to go on forever? This is a long bear market. Long freaking bear market. Particularly, Galaxy on Twitter posted the other day, this was on February 1st, that today we're creating history with 411 days of bear market and the longest since Bitcoin was born. No one can tell us exactly when it's going to end, but it's important to remain focused on the long term and remember that it cannot last forever. Wise words. Focus on the long term, cannot last forever. Well, that's nice. But I actually want to know, when is it going to be over, because I'm impatient. Damn it. So I did some research. Now, I was just kind of trying to figure when this thing is going to end based on a few things. And one thing that I found that was pretty helpful is looking at the Bitcoin halvings or halvings. That's when the Bitcoin block reward drops by half. So initially it was 50 Bitcoin per block. Now it's 12.5 per block. Soon it will be 6.25 per block. All right. So the Bitcoin halving dates. The first one was November 28th of 2012. The second one, July 9th of 2016. And the third one coming up right around May 27th of 2020. So we have that one to look forward to next year. Now, how does this affect things? Well, less rewards for miners, because Bitcoin is a deflationary currency. Something we're not used to. We have inflationary currencies, especially US dollars, very inflationary. They just print those mofos, and with, what is it, fractionary lending? Brain's not working today. Well, anyways, with lending, for every $1 in, they lend out another 10. Doesn't make sense. And people say, but what about gold? Well, it turns out they mine more and more gold every year. Like the amount of gold they mine increases every year. So that's not deflationary ever. But Bitcoin, my friends, is deflationary, and the reminder that we get every year, or every 4 years, is the Bitcoin halving dates. So let's take a look at these things. Now, if you look on this chart here, I've made some arrows where the Bitcoin halvings occurred. So we have this one coming up May of next year. We had this one in 2016, and we had this one in 2012. Unfortunately, the chart doesn't go back that far. And what I found, just from taking a look at things, is that roughly 1 year before the halvings is the lowest price, the low of the low. So if we take a look here, this one was July 2016. Well, the low of the low, I'm not sure if you can see it there, right around August of 2015, roughly a year before. If we take a look at this one, okay, this was, I forget the date. It was November 28th of 2012. Well, if we take a look here, here's a chart that goes back. If we take a look, all right, at November of 2011, that was right around the lowest price. I'm not sure if you can see these things here, but it's like $23 down to roughly $2 and change, $3, right around October, November of 2011, before the halving in November of 2012. Again, roughly a year before the halving date is the lowest price. So then you might be riddling me, well, if that's true, then when is this next one coming up? And based on very complex mathematics, a year before May of 2020 is May of 2019. Which would mean it is potentially up and coming sometime soon. Another few months. It's February now, so March, April, May. 3 more months. Now, the price could go down before then. The price could go down. But there are some things that I was taking a look at that maybe it won't. And then I'll tell you how to play it either way. Not financial advice. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, so if we take a look here, this is actually the MACD based on the weekly candles. So this gives us more of a long-term view than the MACD on the daily candles, which I'll show you here. Kind of zoom in a little bit. You can see this is based on the daily candles. All right. Now, if we take a look at the weekly candles, giving us a bit more long-term picture, looks like it's starting to reverse, which tells us potentially price may go up. Now, volume is going down, but most of that was sell volume anyways. So, sell volume is going down. Now, if we take a look at this, here's another indicator that could potentially mean something. This is the monthly MACD, okay? Now you're saying, hold on a second, hold the phone. The blue is way below the orange. That means I should be holding a stable token. However, had we have waited until the crossing in the monthly, we would have lost out from $20,000 to about $5,000. So on a healthy chunk of change when it comes to trading the MACD based on this. But if we look at the histogram, which are these lines down here, I could have made them darker, but I didn't. Okay? When the histogram is roughly the same, that indicates the peak. So the high, and look at this, they're roughly the same. That could be indicating the low. So it looks like we are at somewhat of a low. Not to mention, where we are right now, 3,500 or so, 3,000, 3,500, is about how much it costs a Chinese miner to mine Bitcoin. How much miner could a Chinese miner mine if a Chinese miner could mine Chinese food? So right now, maybe they're at a break even. A lot of miners, especially in America, are losing. Now they can go roughly 6 months, okay, until they have to shut down the factories. When they do that, well, then all shit hits the fan. Well, check this out. It's been November. 6 months from November is May. All right? This stuff is all adding up. May. All these theories. My speculation. Now, could it be longer? Yeah, it could be longer. I mean, especially since you guys all remember Charlie Lee. He sold at the absolute top. The absolute top. Okay? He said, sorry to spoil the party, but I need to rein in the excitement. Buying Litecoin is extremely risky. I expect us to have a multi-year bear market like the one we just had where Litecoin dropped 90% in value, $48 to $4. So if you can't handle Litecoin dropping to $20, don't buy. Now, he predicts a multi-year bear market after he sold at the absolute top. And you're like, well, if he can predict the absolute top, then obviously he knows how long the bear market is going to be. But I would say potentially not, because if you go on reading a little bit further, he says here, when crypto goes up too fast, it overshoots the real value. So a bear market to consolidate is normal. How long and how large is anyone's guess? So the multi-year bear market was just a guess. But based on this evidence I presented already, it looks like May. May could be the bottom. What to do until the bottom? The price could still go down. So what am I doing? Not financial advice. Trading on the MACD. That way, if it starts to go down, I go into a stable token and then just wait it out until the MACD reverses and then put it in a Bitcoin. But another thing you can do is you can actually trade. Now, for those of you who actually want to trade and make money in a sideways market, Signal Profits is pretty badass for that. There's a link down in the description. It is an affiliate link. But, I mean, check this out. 43% in 5 days, 21% in 2 weeks, 27% in 1 day. I mean, aside from that BitTorrent ICO, these are some of the best trades out there. So that is that. Now, let's give away those Neo DevCon tickets. So Neo DevCon is coming up in Seattle. I've picked some people to give away. I basically tweeted this out there. I said if you want to win, retweet and comment, and then you can win. Now, did I do this randomly? No. I just chose the people who either seemed really enthusiastic, lived in Seattle, made me laugh, or whatever. So here's the winners in no particular order. I will message you in the next day or two with the code so that you can go and do it. First one, Rochelle Nat +1. Second, Francis James. Third, Ryan P. Flieger. Fourth, Radiant Creators. Fifth, Redmond Chiropractic. Sixth, Christos. Seventh, Tracy Cornpelis. Eighth, Medextra. And ninth, Greg Hodge. And remember, the 10th is the +1 from the first person. So that is 10 I will see you all in Seattle for Neo DevCon. I will be messaging you on Twitter shortly so that you can win. Thank you all very much for watching. I love you. Have a great day. Peace.